All right, here are some of the things that you could expect the fiddle to do on the song Strawberry Wine by Deana Carter. And it is recorded in D flat, but we're going to do it in D today. Also, that makes a little sense because in the original recording, any of the little bit of fiddle that you hear is actually tuned down a half step. So they're playing out of what we would normally consider the fingering for D. In modern country music, it's very common for all the instruments to be tuned down a half a step. So you will often hear things that sound like open strings, and it might be confusing, but because it's in, D flat, C sharp, whatever, or G flat, and you think, how is that possible? But that's because a lot of the instruments tune down. So from the very beginning, one of the first things that you want to do is you want to play the signature lick. In Nashville, it's often shortened to the sig lick, and that is because in country music, one of the most important things that you can do is make sure that you are repeating the lick that is the familiar lick from the song. In the studio, when the studio musicians come in to record on these types of songs, the very first thing they do is look over their chart, and then they create a sig lick for the song so that as soon as you hear it, you know, oh, that's that song. And so you can't mess around with that. If you're going to be doing a country classic like this song is, you want to make sure that you do that. So if you have a steel guitar in your band, you would play the harmony line to that. If you don't, then you would play the melody. So here. And then repeat. So if you were playing the harmony, it would be, and so it would just be 2 notes above. So the regular one is like that, and then just repeat that. All right, so then we get into the first verse, and we don't do anything. This is one of the most important things to realize about the role of the fiddle in modern country music, which is that it is minuscule. In most cases, you actually are very likely to play sometimes just a few notes in an entire song. Most of the solos go to the electric guitar. If there's a lot of vocal harmonies, you're not going to be wanting to step on that very much. You're often just playing the sig lick and maybe fills over one verse. So I'm going to show you a few options that you can do, but realize that the role of the fiddle in contemporary country is tiny, tiny, tiny. So often there's just nothing for you to do, but the checks usually all cash the same. So here we go. We're going through the first verse. So here you could do some pads, but what I would do, I probably wouldn't do that though, but if you wanted to, you could, and you could do those notes. What I would do though is I would mostly, if you don't have a steel guitar, and a lot of people don't in their bands, I would take the role of where the steel is in this recording. So here, when we get into the chorus, we're going to just do descending lines. Again, country music is different than bluegrass in this way, in that you are expected to repeat lines regularly, and that is because radio music is there's a level of familiarity that they want out of the arrangement of the song. So each of the choruses, you're basically going to do the exact same thing. The signature lick is going to come a couple of times. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a descending line in the chorus. I'll show you that. We're going to start here. Again, so right as you come out of that, We're gonna play that again. Here. Oh, and then it's only one time right there. So you just do that the one time. All right, so then you might play some fills here on the second verse, depending on who else in the band might be claiming them. But if you were to play them, here's some things you could play. When 30 was old, my biggest fear was September. When he had to go. Descending line. Right there, there is an actual fiddle fill on the recording. So you're just working with notes in the D chord. A lot of kind of slides right there, and that just comes right after the end of the chorus. Just keep that way down. Nothing here. So here, the fiddle does come in and just kind of give it a little, exactly like our descending line. Just some long bows there. So all the way down. Just walking down the D scale. So this is a steel solo on the recording, but you could do something here if this is your opportunity. So I'm gonna kind of play along with what the steel plays. Here's that descending line. When we've got the double chorus, one of the things that you can do is you can take your original descending line and bring it up a third. So instead of going you would do etc. and just walk it down the same way. Just it gives it a little more intensity that way. That outro is a guitar outro. And if that goes to you for whatever reason, great. And you can just play some noodly, you know, D things. But this is really a guitar outro, so unless it's handed to you, this one is electric guitar all the way out. And what you probably could do is your same descending line all the way to the end. Keep in mind that contemporary country music is a guitar-driven music, and the fiddle often is relegated to a few licks at the end of some verses and choruses. As you go back into that second verse, into the pre-chorus, I gave you some ideas. I wouldn't play anything right there, actually, generally. I would just come in on those choruses. The other place to be real careful is this place where we did the descending line. When you're walking back up, I did a walk up back into the repeat, which is also right over the top of a big vocal section. Now, the steel is playing something in the recording, but the steel doesn't often, you can hear it's mixed way back. So if you do play something right there, make sure to just keep it a little bit and let the vocals have their moment. So there you go. There's kind of a roadmap for all the things that you would do. And at the very end, I'm assuming you're not fading out in real life, and you would just, you know, strawberry, and one long note, and that'll get you to the end. So enjoy playing Strawberry Wine by Deana Carter. There you go.